Seek the Lord, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, while he may be found. Make sure this is recording.
All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah Bahasham, Kakadash. The double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples for younger brothers. And peace and blessing and salutation to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word of truth. And in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. All right, and what I want to get into this morning, dealing with morning news and prophecy, so like is life under heat. Okay, life under heat. All right, life under Esau Edom. Okay, and what the earth, is experiencing. All right, is the nature. All right, the true nature of Esau Edom. Okay, and this man has ran this thing we call life onto the ground. Okay, the life experience under Esau. Okay, has the whole world crying out. You see, throughout the world, because you look in third world countries. Well, third world countries exist because of the rulership of Esau Edom. Extreme poverty, extreme violence, extremely undeveloped, war-torn. Well, that's because of Esau. Okay, and then you get over here to the Americas, okay, where people are experiencing, psychological warfare, poison in the food, poison in the health system, medicines, okay, toxic, just constantly gaslighting, okay,
Homelessness,
crime, all right, scams, you see, uncertainties, and all this is life under heat, animals, going extinct, dying off.
Yeah.
Okay.
And all tortured before they die.
This is life under heat. And we can't say it enough. Every complaint, all right, that you can have on the planet Earth is rooted back in this man's rulership. Okay, the source of every complaint, okay, is rooted in the rulership of Esau Edom. Okay, from countries being divided to houses being divided. All right, it all results back to Esau Edom, man. Okay, and the earth is crying out, okay, against a wicked ruler, and there was the prophets, the Lord raised up the prophets to be at the forefront, okay, of this cry against Esau, and they complain about the system and the way things are, but see, the prophets let you identify, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Al-Shai, the prophets identify the culprit in this Esau Edom, the so-called white man, okay, mainly who, the elite, okay, Amalek, okay, that's the mastermind of this wicked system. Now, I want to go here, I want to get this in the GNT, and have a video. I'm quite sure a lot of you brothers and sisters have already seen it on the beloved Elder Support channel, GMS Dedication. All right, and people are just complaining. It's a compilation of complaints, but see, they notice something different, man. You see, it's like people are being disenchanted. And one thing about it, people are being disenchanted, but see, they still don't have the truth. They still don't have a comforter. Okay. Which we'll get that. But this is the book of Isaiah 24:4. This is in GNT. We always get it, but I'm going to read in the GNT. It says, the earth dries up and withers. The whole earth grows weak. Both earth and sky decay. All right. And under this man's rulership, the earth itself, all right, has become weaker. It doesn't give it strength. The foods don't have the nutrients, especially in America. See, everything is amplified here in America, man. This man's rulership, it weakens the whole earth, but it's amplified here in America, man. This the belly of the beast, man. This is the most concentrated place of wickedness and defilement on the planet Earth. Okay? It said the earth dries up and withers. The whole world grows weak. Both earth and sky decay. The people have defiled the earth by breaking the Most High's laws and by violating the covenant he made to last forever. Okay? Because when you go into the laws are meant to govern immortality, man. That's why scripture referred to as a law of life. Okay, when you go into the law, which is the wisdom of the Most High, it's meant to regulate and be guardrails, okay, for eternity, man, to forward life forever. The earth would never go into decay under the laws, statutes, and commandments. And the earth will run forever efficiently under those laws. You You see, and this is the things that we're coming to understand, especially the sons of God, which is our responsibility to run the earth by those laws, man. And this is what we're awakening to, man. This is what we're realizing. We're realizing, all right, what the Heavenly Father has been trying to get us to understand, beginning with His sons. You see, but the earth was meant to run by those laws, statutes, and commandments, and we can't keep them today. And that's why, there's a thirst, for righteousness, man. If a brother can post that, I think that Matthew 5:5, you know. So the Lord put us in this captivity, all right, under this goddamn devil, okay, who completely rebelled against the laws of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah. And it was a lesson for us, man. It created a thirst for righteousness, man. You see, and above the perks that come with the kingdom, man, just to see the earth being ran how it's supposed to be, man, seeing creation really flourish according to the wisdom of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, man, that's something to look forward to, okay, because under this devil, okay, everything is suffering, everyone and everything is suffering, man, all right? Now, to read on, it says, verse 6 said, the Most High has pronounced a curse on the earth. His people are paying for what they've done. Fewer and fewer remain alive. So what we have to understand, this is a punishment that's coming to the earth, man. You see, Esau, Edom set people up for failure. Okay? He put people in an all-out rebellion, and he dressed it up as something cute, fun, the way to be, transcendent, progressive, all these liberty, equality. He put all these words around the rebellion. Okay? Ultimately, it's just a rebellion against the Most High, and the earth is being punished. We go into a lot of, different things on this channel. Okay, but to sum it up, man, Esau, Edom, okay, has set the earth up for failure, man. People are being punished by following this nigga, man. And that's why we gotta be thankful that the Lord pulled us out of this darkness, man, and brought us into the light. Okay, because we was once in this darkness, man. Okay, and where would we be today if the Lord hadn't, pulled us out of the darkness through the preaching of His word, man, which was made possible by the sacrifice of Yahweh, man. Okay, Yahweh, what He did is set us up to have a victory over this, man. Okay? Because people are really, this man has done a major psychological operation on the masses, man. Okay? The masses, all right, are highly damaged. All right, by this psyop, continual psyops of the devil. You see? So, reading on, it says, the grapevine withers and wine is becoming scarce. Everyone who was once happy is now sad. Okay, because your wine harvest. Okay, when you get that new wine harvest, man. Okay, that was a thing of mirth. When your grapes will harvest. Okay, then you will be able to tap into your reserve because you got, you just bottled. Okay, your new harvest. Okay, so that means you're able to kind of let loose with your reserves from last year. You can kind of let your hair back a little bit. Okay, but if them grapes don't come, you have to kind of ration out the wine from last year. Okay, or you might have to go without. You see? So what the Lord is doing, He's drying up, okay, the mirth. Okay? And it's the Lord is doing this. Esau is a tool that's being used, but ultimately it's the Lord is doing this, man. And people are being punished for following this devil, man. Okay? In this rebellion. It says, in the joyful music of their harps, and the drum has ceased, man. Okay, this party without a care spirit is ceasing, man. And when people do party, they're forcing it. People are going in debt to try to keep the party going, man. Okay?
Yeah, spending money they don't have for bullshit Christmas.
Joy, the spirit of, okay, being careless, you see, or kicking it, non-stop, kicking it, that's coming to a stop. The Lord is hitting the brakes on this place, man. Okay? Because this place is going to be judged. And this kingdom is going to be erased off the earth, man. All right? There's a transition. That's what these people are feeling. They're feeling that transition, man. Okay? And the Spirit of the Lord, okay, is bearing down on the earth, man. Okay? So there's no more happy singing over wine. No one enjoys its taste anymore. Okay? And that also goes into this philosophy, the doctrines. Okay? It's also going into doctrines, man. Okay? People are over, Republican and Democrat. Okay? It don't benefit them no matter who's in office, man. Okay? The woman's, she's crying about, her poor decision making, being misindependent. Women talking about they're tired of being so strong, and okay, but it's
Yeah, I
all
can
the
do
work
everything a
of the
man
devil.
does, etc.
You see, so
So
these things
proud.
don't taste like they once was, man. You know, he hyped people up, you know, to live these lifestyles and glorified rebellion like it was the way to be. Okay, and it's gonna rain its course.
Now
Okay,
it's all crashing down.
music fatigue. You know, people saying, you know, the rap fatigue. Everything is fatigue. Black fatigue, rap fatigue, white fatigue. Everything is a fatigue, man.
Because it's dying.
Okay, it's played out. You see, everything, you know, that was once, you know, the glory of this kingdom, people are tired of, man, because it was just death dressed up as life. Okay, it was chaos dressed up as order, as transcendent. Okay, it says in the city everything is in chaos, and people lock themselves in their houses for safety. You know, people are more isolated than ever.
Yep.
Okay, niggas be talking about the community. Ain't no community, man. Okay, ain't no goddamn community, man. Everybody hate each other, man. Everybody's faking. Okay,
And I gotta say something to that. Like I said, you know, still dealing with the aftermath of losing my dog for 16 years, family member, and yet I was very isolated. I've been isolated for a long time. Okay, especially after coming into this truth. But even before that, I've been desolate and isolated for quite some time. You know, I don't really fucking get along with people. You know, I get along with dogs, with animals a lot better than I fucking get along with people, because you know, people equals shit. You know, if you fucking get right down to it, you know, people are insensitive, they're fucking assholes, and you just fucking don't want to fucking be around any of them, right? Well, we figure out that the culprit behind that, right, is Esau Edom, right? Just this fucking place in general. Even if you're Jake, man, a 2/3 or whatever, you know, unless you're an elect member, man, you get around them, it's like, I don't want to fucking be around you anymore, man. Fucking, you're bringing me down. Fucking, I don't fucking need your shit today. You're a fucking asshole, you know? So, you hang out with animals. You love animals. A lot fucking better than this fucking place, right? You know? But nonetheless, though, we're all suffering under Esau's ruleship. I definitely found myself, you know, desolate in the essence of, I want to be isolated from fucking people. I want to get away from these fucking people. Fuck them all. Fuck every last fucking one of them. That's the mindset I'm in, and I know that that's the mindset of a lot of people. Whether you're elect or even a 2/3, you're like, fuck everyone. You know? Although the 2/3 probably just go and fucking party anyways. Party like it's 1999, even though everything's fucking crumbling down, you know? I ain't with that. You know, fuck all that. Didn't celebrate the New Year's. Yeah, I heard the fucking popping off, right? I didn't fucking celebrate that. I'm not fucking celebrating that fucking bullshit. Just adding on.
okay, gossiping and, you know, backbiting and, you know, ain't no damn community, man. Okay, the real love is between the hopeful elect, man. The sincere brothers, you know, and a
Yep.
few sincere sisters, man. That's where the true love is at. Outside of that, man, you people hate each other, man. Okay? Everybody's faking, man. Okay?
Yep.
It says, verse 11 said, people shout in the streets because there's no more wine. Happiness is gone forever. It has been banished from the land. Yeah, so going back to wine being linked to mirth, you know. So we're seeing, what we're going to
Resources.
see is people shouting in the streets, man, which is in public. You know, which the internet is like into the streets as well. You know, people are actually, you know, taking to the streets as people protest more now, you know, and all these different things. Okay? But yeah, man, their mirth is fleeting. Okay? And people are catching hell trying to force it. All right? So let's go to the video, you know, and this will play most of it. All right? And you brothers, you know, feel free to add, you know, precepts as you see fit. If we can get that Isaiah 30 and 3, you know, Isaiah 30 and 3, what's the Jeremiah 17 and 5, trusting in man, you know. So let's go here.
There's a theory.
America we knew is gone.
Yeah, so let's play this, you know.
Going around that Americans are experiencing zoochosis.
Is it me, or this feels like the weirdest year in history for or in my existence? And I don't think it's because we older now. Something about this year specifically, energy is just so stale. It's just different than it's ever been.
So I'm not trying to
Because it's
scare
growing
anybody right now,
dim.
but I think something flipped for all of us. I think there's been a massive shift in reality.
Anybody else just feel like completely weird right now? Like, I know things are weird. Time feel weird. I just posted a video, and I was like watching it. I was like looking at myself, and I was just like, is that me? Like, I don't even feel like me anymore. Something weird is going on. Like, time is not time. Time seems like I feel like I'm slipping in and out of time, and like being within my body. I just don't like it. It doesn't really feel like we're actually here. This doesn't feel real. And I know we've talked about how things aren't real. We live in this weird simulation, but like I'm really starting to feel.
Yep,
I'm the only
disconnected.
one who peeped that the energy of the world is feel off right now. And I ain't just talking about no politics or talking about no. I'm talking about spiritually that feel off. Like something feel like spiritual attacks or some shit. It feel different right now. Like, and I know how to read energy and shit and knowing shit off. It's off right now.
Half of the United States workers says they're at a breaking point. Every other person you see is quietly crumbling.
Why is everything so boring right now? Like, I am so bored with everything.
People have been saying that it feels like the world that we once knew just vanished. It's like we went to sleep and woke up one day and nothing was the same.
Everything just feels, if you wake up, you do the same stuff for the most part.
Oh, like
and then you
Groundhog
do
Day.
Things that are supposed to be fun, it doesn't hit the same way.
Nothing
like it used to.
is very much fun anymore.
Humans are experiencing zoochosis. I 100% believe that. So zoochosis is basically a form of mental illness that animals get from being in a zoo, from having a repetitive lifestyle that is not natural to them. The government controls hunger by simply planting fruit trees on the streets, but they refuse to do that because they engineer homelessness to teach you what happens if you fall out of line.
For example, there are a lot of people right now who are talking like this.
You realize everything is fake, from the TV to the politicians to the jobs to the money to the power to the government to literally everything that's out there. It's all fake and it's all a system rigged against us, and it's all fake. The medicine, the agriculture, the school system, literally everything is all fake.
Hell, even this reality has completely changed in some way, shape, or form. It's like the planet had
fucking wake-up
when it
call.
started, everything had been switched. And nobody can really put into words what's happened or what is currently happening. So I'm gonna let this guy over here explain.
You're
what
dying
like
inside. It's killing you.
About the same topic, about how their life. This is what they're saying in the comment section, that their life doesn't feel the same to them anymore.
You're
Kind of
fucking
like they're half in this
dying.
world and half out of this
Whining
world, and I just want
fucking
you guys to know,
maggots.
for the ones that feel that way, that you're not alone, because I
Fuck
feel that way
you.
every single day. Every single day, I no longer feel like the person I once was. And it's almost like I don't even recognize life anymore. I mean, here I've been on this planet for 54 years, but this world feels so foreign.
'Cause you're losing
And
it.
ever since COVID, it seemed like we went through some kind of like time shift. It just seems like everything is happening so much faster now. I know that things go faster as you get older. I understand that, but I'm not talking about that kind of thing.
Your time
It
is
seems
short.
like everything is in like extreme fast forward. The days fly by. There just seems like there isn't enough time to even get two things done in a day. Two things before it's time to go to bed. You say, Jesus, I didn't even have time to do two things.
Fast
I
forward.
have been trying to convey in a video what I'm talking about, and I'm not able to do it, you guys. I'm just not able to put my finger on it. How in the hell did we go from what we remember the world being like to this? How did it come to this?
Yeah, real quick, you know, and this is all the results of psychological, warfare by the devil, man. People are, they're and it's so much, just to try to keep it simple.
The after effects of witchcraft.
Even before, 2020, which we know we'll get into the juice a little bit, but even before 2020, there was just always this psychological damage, these psychological operations being done to psychologically damage the people. Okay?
Yeah,
So,
retail apocalypses were happening
as a
before
matter of fact, let's go
2020.
into what the PSYOP is. Okay? Because this is the results of heavy PSYOP. All right? Done on the masses, man. Okay, by the devil. People have been overstimulated. That's why everybody's bored, because they're out of touch with nature. People are overstimulated.
You're out of touch.
Short attention
You're
span.
out of time.
You see, there's neurological
Going
damage
out
that
of
these
your
guys have done
head.
with this technology. Okay, that can't be undone. Okay, people are overstimulated. They can't go back to normal. You see, people live in this synthetic fake world. They've been removed from purpose. Okay, nothing is functioning like it's supposed to, just like he said, like an animal, okay, in the zoo. That's not his natural setting.
And like everything else, it's offset. But Thawada, things are about to be set straight as this man's kingdom, Esau Edom, is about to come to a head. Shalom, first and foremost, like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash, double honors, the elders and apostles, great millstone, where he teaches the truth and sincerity, and shout out to Yakims out there on the four corners of the earth proclaiming his truth. Brak of the Yahweh, Brak of the Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash, Brakatem. So, for those following me on YouTube, this is a guy I usually wake up to in the morning because, I'm on the Pacific coast, and he's usually got a video going live, and I just like to tune in and just build off of that, and so you can find him. He's got many channels, but nonetheless, though, something to build on, as I already have went and dug up articles to read, right? Because a lot of people celebrated that bullshit last night, while, the pessimism is there now, and the energy's being left, still people are trying to celebrate, right? And the Most High is punishing those that celebrate it, right? 40 dead, about 100 injured after fire rips through Swiss ski resort. Bar. Swiss police say several dozen people are dead and 100 or so people may have been injured after the fire at Lake Constellation Bar in Switzerland. So
we will in fact do the breaking news first then. Instead, we have had that update from police in Switzerland where, of course, there was this fire overnight at the bar in the Swiss ski resort, and sadly they've updated the number of casualties and injured. We were saying before around 10 people might have died. Swiss authorities are now saying tens, plural. Tens have died, and over 100 have been injured. Most of those have been injured seriously.
Most ties cracking down.
That this is being
and he's slaying every last fucking one of you. We can't wait for nuclear destruction.
So that's an important update as well. But they are saying that tens of people
face the
are
slayer.
presumed dead.
I couldn't be more happy. You know why? Because I'm sick of this fucking man's rulership. I am fucking sick of living under his spell, right? But that spell's wearing off. See, this is what happens when the spell starts wearing off. Alright? You get fucking fatigued and you're just like, man, I'm not feeling anymore. Because the effects of that spell's wearing off. We've been under witchcraft for so fucking long, man. But man, he's losing his power. The witchcraft is wearing off, and it's just fatigue and everything. Because the spell isn't that fucking strong anymore. Everybody sees him for what the fuck he is. Everybody knows that America's not the peacemaker. Everybody knows that America is the reason for all the fucking calamity in the world. Everybody knows the Israeli state's behind everything. Everybody knows that there's only 1% to have everything, and everybody else must suck his dick, basically. And they're fucking tired of it. The spell's off. You're not going to live long and prosper. You're just going to be consumed by total decay. Just like the song, One of My Turns Coming On. Day after day, love turns gray like the skin on a dying man. Night after night, we pretend we're all right. But I have grown older and you have grown colder, but nothing is very much fun anymore. And I can feel one of my turns coming on. I feel cold as a razor blade, tight as a tourniquet, dry as a funeral drum. And that's exactly the mindset where everybody is, from the wall. Pink Floyd, The Wall, man. Because that's about where everything is. That's what happens when a spell starts wearing off. When it starts wearing off, you fucking come to your senses and you realize a lot of shit. You realize you've been fucking lied to. And you're about to fucking erupt. Death toll climbs following New Year's blast at Swiss ski resort. Local hospitals reportedly overwhelmed with burn victims following a devastating explosion that claimed as many as 40 lives. Police have not released the exact figures as families still being notified, but as many as 40 people were killed and many others injured, some of them seriously, local media reported. Local hospitals reportedly overwhelmed with burn victims, according to Lay No. I can't say, but like everything else, it's just, it's real, right? They were partying like it was 1999, just celebrating that New Year's bullshit. Now, we'll tell you straight out the fucking gate. He'll be back, and in larger numbers. Just because they've retreated now doesn't mean they ain't coming back. They'll be back in larger numbers. So don't get your hopes up, man. We're just beginning to feel it, man. And I hope this is the fucking year that Esau comes to his end. I hope this is the fucking year that all of it comes to naught. I'm sick of this fucking man's rulership, and you should be too. Trump pulls National Guard out of Chicago, Los Angeles, and Portland. President Trump on Wednesday announced that he's pulling the National Guard from Chicago, Los Angeles, and Portland. We are removing the National Guard from Chicago, Los Angeles, and Portland, despite the fact that crime has been greatly reduced by having these fucking pieces of shit in those cities, because that's what you are. You're a piece of shit if you serve under this man. Earlier this month, federal judge in California blocked the Trump administration from deploying members of the National Guard in Los Angeles, also directed the administration to return control of the Guard to Governor Newsom until an appeals court paused the latter. So like everything else, a lot of them were fighting back. To give you the illusion that the right and the left are fighting, they're not. Because remember, this man's in power, he's got deception, but you see, these Decepticons, aka these Edomites, they're losing it, man. The spell, it's wearing off. The spell's wearing off. I'm just making sure that it's recording. Hate to find out I've been in the middle of a lesson and it's gone. Russia's secretive hypersonic nuclear-ready Oreshnik missiles go operational in Belarus. Belarus announced that Russia's Oreshnik intermediate nuclear-capable range ballistic missile system has been deployed on its territory. Through details and specifications, including range of the projectile, remain secretive. On Tuesday, Belarus Ministry of Defense released a video showing the Oreshnik system being deployed into the country. It featured Russian troops and technicians in ceremonial flag raising while stationed in Belarus, along with a convoy of vehicles moving into a field-based firing position before being concealed under camouflage netting. And it was really cool to watch. I mean, we'll play it again. Fuck it, right?
Russia's nuclear-capable Oreshnik missile system has entered active service in Belarus, said the Russian Defense Ministry on Tuesday. The ministry released a video showing combat vehicles that are a part of the mobile intermediate-range ballistic missile system driving across a forest.
And these will be used in West Asia and in Europe.
The announcement follows a statement from Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko, who said earlier this month that the Oreshnik had arrived in the country. Russia first tested a conventionally armed version of the Oreshnik to strike a Ukrainian factory in November 2024. Putin has bragged that the missile's multiple warheads are so fast they can't be intercepted. The Russian leader has warned the West it could use it next against allies of Kiev that have helped Ukraine strike Russia with their longer-range missiles.
And like everything else, we believe these will be nuclear armed. Could possibly be a part of Damascus in that day. Again, we know that the nuclear war, the Valley of Jehoshaphat is in Syria and the region, and you know that they cannot leave Syria alone. U.S. freezes child care funding to all states amid fraud scandal. Yeah, all you fucking scandalous fucking bitches. They're fucking, taking money from the states and all that to go after men. Well, they are now fighting you out. They live deliciously, right? Just collecting welfare right and left. Well, you're about to be found out. Federal probe was triggered by YouTubers' investigation of a massive Somalia-run scam in Minneapolis. Okay, so yeah, there's the other half of it. Of course, this is against illegals, but yet at the same time, though, it's going to be probed against you fucking nigger women, right? I hate to say women in front of that, but nonetheless, so you know what I'm talking about. You know, you've fucking been running a scam for a long time. Yeah, they're coming after you. Federal funds to be released only when states prove they are being sent legitimately. Yeah, you're going to have to legitimize. You don't even know what the baby's father is. I cannot see you being able to legitimize it, right? You know? This is Chump's long game. We spent years cracking down on fraudsters. It's a serious issue, but has been his plan all along is politicizing the issue to defund programs that help Minnesotians, Walsh said. You know, so like everything else, though, you know, it's coming up. The scam is up. You're not going to be able to scam the system for much longer. And it's just a little short little clip. The light of the wicked is being put out. The spell's wearing off.
Walking down the street, regular, like in my town where I live, and I'm just walking down the street, and I go, and there was people outside, and I see like a chaos, and I'm like, what's going on? So I go and I look to the left, and I see something descending from the sky. And like the first thing I thought, I was like, oh my God, that's the deception. That's gotta be this government, like with the aliens and stuff doing the deception. But as I go and it comes closer, I see him, you guys. When I tell you that I see Jesus, I see him. But he's not like what we think he looks like. He didn't look like that. He doesn't have blonde hair and long hair and all that. That's not how he came. He came down. And he was descending, like it was like in a cloud, but he was on a horse, and he was with somebody else, and he was with something else. I don't know who he was with. I wasn't allowed to see that, but I know that he didn't come down by himself. And he had short hair, not like a fade or anything, but it was like a short hair, and he was like my complexion. He was like dark skinned, and he had a crown on his head, and he wasn't smiling, you guys. He was not smiling, and he didn't look at me or anything, but I saw him.
Come, my people, into thy chambers. And shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpast. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain.
This is Job chapter 18, verse 11. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. Now this is going to happen to so-called white man, okay? You so-called white people, you're going to be terrified, all right? Terrors will make you afraid on every side, okay? And you're going to have no place to run to, no safe haven, all right? Because your kingdom is going down, all right? And it's going to go down drastically, okay? You're going to lose everything.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to last. God damn it! Yeah, I gotta fucking put it in something.
Everyone hates.
It's not that piece of shit.
So-called white people, all right?
Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. The steps of his strength shall...
Yeah, it's just fucking freezing. But you get the general idea.
And his own counsel shall cast him down. He is cast into a net by his own feet.
You know the devil fucks with the feed, right? Because they don't like you watching videos like this.
And he walketh upon a snare. The gin shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and the trap for him in the way. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready beside. It shall devour the...
I lose my cool all the time, by the way, with this shit. I just happen to be live, so I'm not pausing, so you hear what I fucking saying though. Fucking piece of shit! See what I'm saying? This is the stuff that pisses me off. You know, and it's just part of the witchcraft. Esau doesn't like it. When you start to become enlightened, you start looking at videos, you start looking at the scriptures, and he fucks with your feed, he fucks with everything, right? Because it's fucking weakening him, and we know he's weak. He's a fucking piece of shit, and he's fucking being taken out, and we fucking can't wait till every last fucking one of them fucking be put out, right? light of the wicked shall be put out. Now I could go into Job chapter 18, says this goddamn devil on that video play. Let's just go ahead and read it, shall we? So I'm just going to read it from here, because at least with this, I ain't got to worry about no video feeding the devil fucking messing it up, right? But yeah, you know, and boy, I've been cursing at these fucking things for a fucking long time, you know. You know, you try to do something and then everything's fucked up. And you know it's deliberate. You know it's deliberate because, man, you can be just watching garbage and all that, and that garbage plays, you know, fucking commercials, etc. They play just fine. You know, and it's just nothing but wickedness. But then, man, you try to watch something righteous, everything's fucked up, right? Well, that's just it. The light of the wicked will be put out. Job chapter 18, verse 5 in the Amplified Version. Indeed, the light of the wicked will be put out, and the flame of his fire will not shine. The light will be dark in his tent, and his lamp beside him will be put out. His devil's being put down once and for all. The vigorous stride will be shortened, and his own counsel and his scheme in which he trusted will bring his downfall. Man, you know, you're seeing that everywhere. You know, you're seeing that he can't really scam you because the spell's wearing off. You know, people see right through the bullshit. Kind of like when Biden slipped and was like, you think they bought all that bullshit? Being found out, you know. Oops, sorry, hot mic. You know, just for wickedness is thrown into a net by his own feet, and he steps on the webbing of the lattice-covered pit. A snare catches him by the heel, and a trap snaps shut on him. You know, he falls into bear traps, etc. A noose is hidden for him on the ground, and a trap for him on the path. All these traps he sets up, but he's falling right into them. Terror frightens him on every side, and chase at his heels. The strength of the wicked is famished and weakened, and disaster is ready at his side. Yep. You know, nothing but calamities everywhere, right? You just read about the one in in Switzerland. His skin is devoured by disease. The firstborn of death, the worst of diseases, consumes his limbs. You know, he's dying. He's being put out. He is torn from his tent, which he trusted for safety. And he has marched and brought to the king of terrors. You know, who's the king of terrors? Yahweh Shai, right? You know, because he is what do they call him? He's the destroyer. He's going to destroy Esau. None of his dwells in his tent. Burning sulfur is scattered over his dwelling. The roots of the wicked are dried up below, and above his branches cut off and withers. You know, everything about him is dying, and they know they got a date with death. The roots of the wicked are dried up below, and above his branches cut off and withers. And we're seeing it. We're seeing the downfall of his kingdom. Memory of him perishes from the earth, and he has no name on the street. He is driven and propelled from the light into darkness, and chased from the inhabited world. He has no offspring or prosperity among his people. Yeah, they're dying out. They've already done a study showing that the Edomites really ain't producing, because you got all them fags and dykes, and well, they're not getting any seed that way, right? So, you know, no offspring, right? He has no offspring or prosperity among his people, nor any survivor where he's sojourn. Those in the west are astonished and appalled at his fate, and those in the east are seized with horror. Surely such dwellings of the wicked are the ungodly, and such is the place of him who does not know or recognize or honor the true power. And that's Esau to a whole. So we're watching the downfall of his kingdom and the rising of ours, man. We have wisdom, but there's only a certain elect that's going to have wisdom to know the times. But it's not like we haven't been out there shouting and screaming and singing, you know, in the song. We've been singing the song of the 144,000 for quite some time. We're not with this world. We're telling you what's about to come. You have been warned. And like everything else, though, you kind of know. You might be in a spirit of mirth, but it's not the same as it used to be, because, again, the spell's wearing off. Can't reiterate that enough. Perfectly put. And like everything else, though, all the political shit and the wars, everybody sees through that bullshit as well. U.S. imposes more Venezuela oil sanctions on 4 companies and 4 tankers. The new sanctions come after U.S. seized 2 tankers off the coast of Venezuela. They were carrying oil cargo, that President Trump said he intends to keep. The action amounts to outright theft. So like everything else, though, continuing on with stealing, killing, and destroying. 8 killed as U.S. terrorists strike 5 more vessels amid tensions against Venezuela. The U.S. military launched a new deadly strike against boats which claim are drug trafficking, escalating its campaign in international waters. U.S. Southern Central Command said on Wednesday it struck 5 alleged drug smuggling vessels. Here we go again. And killed 8 people. The U.S. has not provided independently verified evidence supporting what it claims. The authenticity and context of the video have not been independently verified. So like everything else, though, just continuing in their lies, but they run out of lies and people see right through their fucking bullshit. Just like they do with fucking Amalek. Is Somalia land become Israeli state's foothold in the Red Sea? Gotta remember, these are Edomites writing the articles, by the way. Most of them are not even Jake that are writing this. These are Edomites, man. You can't even fool your own people, man. Boy, that spell is fucking worn off. When you can't even fool your own fucking people. Piece of shit, right? Israelis' recognition of Somaliland is seen as a bid to expand military reach and open a new front against Iran in the Horn of Africa, analysts warn. So like everything else, though, Somaliland. Israeli unilateral recognition of the breakaway region of Somaliland last week came as a surprise to the international community. This move helps Israeli state militarily against Tehran's so-called axis of resistance in West Asia, while making the Horn of Africa a new battleground for its rivalries. Israeli state to operate from Somaliland as an independent and sovereign state was the first of the self-declared republic that broke away from Somalia in 1991, so they're just using it, for strategic purposes and to displace the Palestinians there. But you got people reporting on it right and left. New Trump-Xi Jinping showdown approaches as Chinese tankers press ahead to Venezuela despite the blockade. 2 Chinese-flagged very large crude carriers proceeding towards Venezuela waters despite U.S.-imposed blockade. So like everything else, though, this is heightening. It's getting lit up. Shipping data on Tuesday shows that thousands Sunni is expected to arrive at Venezuela's Jose terminal in mid-January after rounding the Cape of Good Hope empty in southern Atlantic. The vessel, which is not subject to U.S. sanctions, historically transported Venezuela merely heavy crude to China, a second unsanctioned Chinese-flagged VLCC. Xinjiang is currently positioned off French Guiana, awaiting loading at the same terminal. So, like everything else, we'll just see how this goes, right? Escalations, right? Starting off pretty good. Iran calls for regional action to preserve Yemen's unity, territorial integrity. Why? Because, proxy wars against Yemen, and it's all amping up all over again. Iranian Foreign Minister Ghashi expressed deep concern over escalating tensions in southern and eastern Yemen, calling on all regional nations to work toward preserving the unity and territorial integrity of the country. During a call, the Iranian minister said the only viable solution to the crisis in Yemen is through comprehensive dialogue among all Yemeni groups. So like everything else, though, uprisings and all that being caused by Amalek. But Amalek's not even have to fire a shot. They got Riyadh and they got United Arab Emirates helping them, right? Saudi jets prowled Yemen skies as ground forces massed in Hadran. Saudi jets dropped flares over Hadran with a truce with the United Arab Emirates-backed STC collapses and Riyadh warns of direct intervention. So like everything else, though, wars, inside wars. Saudi jets carried out intensive overflights across Yemen's Hadran province before dawn on Monday, dropping flare bombs around Sion Airport as explosions echoed across the eastern plateau. The deployment continued for 3 weeks. And like everything else, so you just got lots of break-off groups as a way to pretty much have their way and destabilize Yemen. That's what they're hoping for. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu discusses possible second strike against Iran with Trump. Well, yeah, I think that'll happen. I'm pretty sure it will. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu discussed the prospect of a second round of strikes against Iran during his meeting with President Trump. During the White House meeting, Netanyahu conveyed Israeli concern about Iran's nuclear missiles programs, as well as efforts to rebuild whatever. But nonetheless, though, Trump previously described the June strikes as tremendous success. However, the officials added that Trump could support a renewed offensive if Iran is seen taking real and verifiable steps to revive nuclear efforts. So, it's coming. Rumors of war, right? Wars and rumors of wars. And then Gomer and all its troops, right? Turkey rounds up hundreds of suspected ISIS members in nationwide crackdown. Here we go again. Fighting a war on ISIS, right? Even though they placed ISIS in Syria, right? See, you got all these groups that caused the fall of Bashar al-Assad. But now what are they going to do with them, right? Well, we're going after ISIS. We're fighting ISIS. Why? Because Hayat al-Sham, which is a proxy, which is a breakoff from ISIS. What are you going to do with all the other ones that don't follow the ways of Hayat al-Sham? What are you going to do with all the other ones that don't follow this or that, right? You're going to have to round them up, right? Turkey rounds up hundreds of suspected ISIS members in nationwide crackdown. So there's a war against ISIS. Same narrative, right? Turkish authorities announced on the 30th December the detention of more than 350 suspected members of ISIS in coordinated police raids carried out across the country following a deadly security incident in the northwest of the country. Yakarna said the raids were led by provincial police units alongside chief prosecutor officers, counterterrorism branches, and intelligence departments. He listed Istanbul, Ankara, and Yalova among the provinces targeted, but did not disclose further operational details. The arrest followed a clash a day earlier in Yalova, where police stormed a house authorities said was being used as a militant hideout. The operation resulted in 3 police officers and 6 ISIS militants being killed, while leaving 8 others and a night guard wounded, according to official statements. So like everything else, though, Can I give you the illusion that they're fighting ISIS? That don't get them confused, Hayat al-Sham confused with ISIS, because we're still fighting ISIS. ISIS is going to help you fight ISIS, even though they broke away from ISIS. They're not really ISIS anymore, because he's got a suit, he's got a tie. He's not tied to ISIS anymore. He has nothing to do with ISIS. So he's going to help fight ISIS. Same boogeyman, right? They're all terrorists, and like everything else, that's the Mossad is doing this. It's amping it up, man, because the Third World War is coming quickly. And hopefully this is the year. This is the year and the end of Esau, Edom, and the beginning of our rulership, right? Pray that we survive the hour of temptation, and that we're kept from that hour of temptation. Meaning that we don't wake up to everlasting contempt, but rather to everlasting life. That we're part of that hopeful elect. Shalom, Braka the Yahweh, Braka the Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Wa Abba Babal. Brakatham, Jehovah elect. Shalom.